Yeah, maybe if I can, I think Mohammed, you spoke a lot about analytics. Can you give us any final remarks around how government can implement analytics?
I think it comes back to the same, building the capability at the core level of government, number one. Number two, driving the awareness and knowledge building and capability building across government, because right now the level of maturity when it comes to even data management is very low. Some great initiatives are being taken place by government organizations to embed the culture of data management and move towards data driven decision making. So that is going to be predicated on having the right information at the right time in the right hands. So that will itself then lead to the next level of maturity, which is how do you build on top of having all this information and having the capability to be able to do, analytics. And that leads into obviously AI, etc. If you don't have that capability, you're not able to build that. So inwardly, governments need to really think about how they build this capability. There's some great initiative, like in Saudi Arabia, for example, they've made it mandatory for all government agencies to have a data management office, and they've put together some maturity levels. So you will have a chief data officer, for example. And once the culture gets built and diffused in the organization, you will start to see less of it being a top-down driven approach. It'll become more of a organic DNA-based modeling, because we would see as government and policymakers the benefit of that. I just want to mention one thing. It's important to, which most of the speakers have touched on. This concept of putting humans at the center of thinking, and the human design approach, and also behavioral science approach. These two are fusing a lot towards a better whole. And that's where I'm seeing the value that is going to come for in the future for our users. And this shift from thinking very siloed that I'm government and I'm private sector. Take a step back and think as yourself as a user who has a need. That total fulfillment concept of a need, like starting a business, cannot happen unless there's a fusion of the private and government together. And what I am advocating is we need to move towards, and someone meant the bundling of these services together, towards what's a life-centric service model. So you have identified certain services that you want to provide as a service, like starting a business could become a service, which who owns the full service fulfillment is possible for it to be between the private sector, the third sector, and the government sector. But that means I'm fulfilling a need, which is to start a business, not a component of the need, which is getting registration, for example. And today, if you think about it, governments think of generally starting a business. It's my job is to give the license. I gave the license, so I'm doing a great job in within 24 hours giving you the license to start the business. But the entrepreneur's point of view is different. For him or her, starting a business is the door is open and I have customers coming in and I've got revenue flows. Different lenses. Both are important, but that's where I'm seeing the fusion coming from data and analytics, and especially AI, because that helps us to become more proactive and predictive.
That's a very insightful way of seeing things. Thank you very much, Mohammed.